Have you ever wondered what you would need to do in order to make $7,500 on any market? Well, I used to wonder the same thing, and now I have. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what I did in order to make $7,500 in one gold trade. And I have my notes here because I don't want to miss any of the good points and things that I've learned throughout this trade, and I want to be able to share those with you. So by the end of this video, you're going to know the exact strategy that I used in order to make the $7,500 just in 1 week on gold. So amazing. Let's hop into it. So if we take a look at this account, if we take a look at this account, I am currently funded $300,000 from one funded company. And I use, every time I take a trade, I trade in both accounts. I use pretty much the same percentages inside of each account just to make sure that I'm managing my risk and all of those good things. So if you're currently funded with a company or you're considering a funded company, please let me know what company that is in the comment section below, because I am looking for other funded companies to get funded with. So that way I could increase the amount of money that I potentially make inside of the market. So I would love to know that. Put that in the comment section below. And this wasn't my first gold trade on this particular market this month. I also made another video where last week I made about $2,500 in the gold market. And I also shared some of those insights with you as well. So here I am with this video doing the exact same thing. So when I took this trade, there were a couple of things that caught my eye. The first thing were the fundamentals. So every week on this channel, I do a breakdown doing technical analysis on the gold and US 30 market. You can check my channel and catch any of those videos. And I actually recommend that you show up when these videos are posted so that way you can potentially take those same moves that I'm looking at for the upcoming week. A couple of things fundamentally was really it really had me looking at the market kind of closely, and that was mainly because of CPI and PPI. And if you don't know what these things are, basically they are indicators about the economy. So CPI is Consumer Price Index, where basically it tells you how much something changed from month to month, how much it costs consumers from month to month. So let's just say if we're talking about eggs, if the price went up from month to month, then it lets you know that there's more inflation. And then there's PPI, it's the Producer Price Index. So basically, it's just like the consumer one, but instead of looking at consumers, it's looking at the manufacturers. If it costs more to, let's just say, get wood this month than it did the previous month, then there may be an issue there. So these are really strong catalysts inside of the market. And one thing I've been incorporating a lot more into my trading, especially in the past 6 months to a year, is really looking at the fundamentals and seeing how those things can move the market. So looking at the chart and seeing a chart pattern like a double top, double bottom, whatever of those things, those are not things that drive the market. It's fundamental things that happen inside of the market that actually form those things. Those patterns that show up are basically just confirmation of some sort. So I want to understand the fundamentals so that way I know how to take the trade. I'm still doing my technical analysis. That's the other thing that I see inside of the market, and we're going to jump into that in a moment. But I want you to know that it's the fundamentals that's going to be the thing that really, really helps you really understand the market. So I chose this trade because after I saw my setup and after the major news, so the first major news event was CPI. I let that do its thing, and then I waited pretty much until after I got off work and I saw my setup appear. Then I took the trade, and then I wanted to get out of the trade before PPI, which is the next day, and be able to capitalize on that, on all the volatility that took place inside of the market without losing the money that I've gained. So before we jump into the technicals, I want to let you know that I do have a trading membership community where I help new traders add at least $1,000 per month to their trading by getting direct access to me to help you along the way. So if you're serious about becoming a profitable trader, then this is something you definitely don't want to miss, because I am offering exclusive founding member spots inside of my trading community. You'll get direct access to me, At this point, I've made well over $100,000 inside of the market and counting. And I'm going to share those trading strategies with you, along with some tools and tips that help me along the way to become a consistently profitable trader, because that is the thing that I want for you. So, inside of this membership community, you will get not only the trading strategies, but you'll also get live coaching calls in order to help you tackle the markets in real time. You'll also get one-on-one onboarding session with me, one of those sessions, in order to help you be set up for success as soon as you join. And then you'll also get a personalized chart review from me in order to help you add that extra $1,000 to your trading per month. And plus, if you choose the annual plan, we'll trade together live once a month. So that way you can follow exactly what I'm doing. And you'll also save 6% on top of that membership as well. So spots are definitely limited. So grab yours today and sign up at profitabletradersacademy.com, and I will see you there. All right, so I want to explain this chart a little bit, and then we're going to get into the actual trading setup. It's actually one of my favorite trading setups, and I use it quite a bit. So I definitely want to explain that to you as well. So as you can see, this is my 100K account. So I have two accounts. One is 100K, one is 200K, totals up to 300K, looking to add more capital. Yes. So anyway, so these are all the trades that I've taken on this account this month, but the trades that I want you to focus on are the ones that I took recently. So it's these trades right here. You can see where I opened and then I scaled out of the position. I scaled out most of the position first, and then the last little bit was left over, and this was the closed P&L on this particular account. Okay, so here is the 200K account. Obviously got my account info blocked out because this is YouTube. But basically, here are the trades that I took on this account. Basically took these trades at the same time. Took it on the 100K account, closed that window, and then opened up the 200K account, and then took these trades. So it's almost in real time, but not really. But anyway, what we have here is same kind of strategy where basically put on the trade, and then I closed most of the trade. As you can see, the closed P&L is 42.58, and then there's some fees because I did hold over a trading session. So, that's just part of the game, but still a nice profit. And then I closed out this other piece actually right before I went to bed. And when we go to the charts, I'm going to explain that in a second. All right, so here is the trade. You can see I got little steps because I wanted you to get the full understanding of what I did inside of this market. So my initial TP, the first TP was around here, around this 25.20 level. So my entry was actually around this level right here. It was somewhere in the zone, so around 25.12. So if you do the math, that is, let's see, 12, 20, that's about 70 pips. Now, based on when I scaled out, it averages to about 60 something pips, but it's still amazing. So this was my TP1 basically, and then my TP2 for this particular trade was here. And then, of course, I was trying to shoot for the moon here. Price did eventually go up here, but I didn't have the fortitude to hold it, mainly because all of this right here was the CPI event. So especially this really big bearish candle right here, if I could highlight it, this bearish candle right here was the CPI news. I saw that it formed a support, and I was like, okay, well, if price breaks up above this bullish wick right here, then the price has a potential to go higher. And this was actually a counter trend trade because with this big candle right here, it would signal that price is continuing to go down because there's a lot of negative momentum. But I am still very bullish on the gold market. So I was looking for buys. I was looking for opportunities to buy. So I said, once it goes up above here, then I'm entering the trade. So price did go up above here around this time. I was probably still at work, so I didn't have the opportunity to enter. So I actually entered after this bullish candle closed. And as you can see, my thought process was support was formed. And then another support was formed. Like I said, I entered the trade on that bullish candle essentially. So this was essentially a break and retest setup. And this one was a little bit tricky because I was monitoring this, or I was looking at this on the H1 time frame. As you can see, I'm currently on the H1 time frame, at least with this screenshot. But I had to go down to the M30 and the M15, and then at one point the M5 because I needed to see a lot more details in the zone. Like I'm not just entering the trade just because I see a bullish candle. Like I need to see the details of it. So that's why once this, even though this formed on the H1 time frame, it formed the support that I was looking for, I still need to go down and look at further details on those other time frames. And then it gave me a lot more confidence to enter the trade. So I entered the trade, like I said, somewhere in this zone right here. And then this was basically my break and retest setup because we formed a support, we broke above this area that I wanted to see, and then it came back to this area. And you see how long it stayed in this area. Each one of these candles is an H1 candle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is basically about how long I was in consolidation for this trade. And then it was the last few hours of the trade right before I went to bed where I said, hey, I'm going to get out of this position. So I took most of my money off the table and then I set my stop loss underneath this H1 candle right here because prior to doing swing trading, so I've kind of went back and forth between some different strategies inside of trading, but I was doing a lot of scalping. Scalping was awesome because you were in and out 20 minutes, an hour, and you're done for the day. But what I realized is that for me and the way that my schedule is, especially with work, I could only do that before work. So I would I would do the scalp and then see that there was an even bigger move later. And yeah, I'm not tripping off that move, but I really wanted the bigger moves and I didn't want to have to look at my screen the entire time. I like swing trading because basically I can monitor the trade throughout the day and just click a button and get out really quickly, but all the analysis is done before and after work. And I try to enter during those times, but sometimes I have to do limit orders in order to be able to get the move and all of that good stuff. So anyway, and one of the things that I'm actually looking to do differently in my trade is to keep, so once I take partial profits, is to keep my stop loss at this kind of break even area, mainly because if you take a look, now I probably would have got stopped out anyway, but if you take a look, so right before CPI, it came back to this level. So pretty much came back to essentially my entry level, and then price took off to the moon. So that could have been cool, even though it was a roughly smaller amount of my trade size inside of this trade. But just imagine, this is so many pips, like from here, 12 to, so yeah, this is like 300 pips. So from this area where I entered to where the screen cuts off, this is a lot of pips here, and that would have been an incredible move, even if I had a very small amount inside of the market. 300 pips on almost anything is still amazing, even if it's a point one lot. I believe that's still $300. Basically, don't focus on just technicals. Definitely look at the fundamentals. I literally have my trading journal right here. This is my fourth trading journal, and I love this one because I definitely see the maturity in my trading from the first one to this one. So definitely looking at fundamentals a little bit differently. If you don't know where to get fundamentals, then you could go to Yahoo Finance or you could go to Forex Factory or any of those sites in order to be able to see what news events are coming up and just to really pay attention to what the previous number was and what the projected number is. And basically, if it's a negative number, then you're expecting generally, negative news, and then just kind of think about how that negative news can affect your market. And that's sort of the things that I've been doing. So another thing, another tip here that I have is definitely don't trade during news. Now, in the past, I used to try to predict the way the market was going to go right before news and try to enter and then capitalize, but that didn't always work. So I really like my strategy of waiting until all of the chaos is finished from the news and then entering the trade. Or in this situation where you got two really big news events the day a day apart. I got in after all this, and then learning some lessons. I was out of the market before all of this. Now this could have went the opposite way, just like it went up. It could have went the opposite way. I still would have had my stop loss, so I still would have been cool. But just some things to learn. And then what is the other thing I want you guys to know? Oh, yep. Okay, that too. Okay, great. So one of the other things I want you to do is, if you found this breakdown helpful, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section, because I'll continue to do these breakdowns and just kind of share some of my lessons learned inside of the market. And I will see you in the next video.